Hello, sports fans! This is a video I never imagined I'd make. Sports references? What is going on with the world? Let's continue, shall we? So, yesterday I went to my first Portland Timbers game, the soccer team that plays here. They're loved by everybody that lives in this city, and it was a huge deal. My boyfriend and I got invited by some of his coworkers and our friends, and we ended up going and binging on stadium food that set us back about $78 million. Ridiculous. But beyond that, it was a ton of fun, and honestly, that stadium is incredible. And it's kind of cool living in a metropolitan city where their major sport is soccer, because I'm so used to back in the Midwest, Minnesota, represent, but that's who they were playing yesterday. And back home in Minnesota, they have four major league sports teams: baseball, basketball, football, and hockey. Yet soccer really didn't have much of a foothold. I mean, there's a gay team, there's like an amateur team. I don't really know how they're divided up, but it was never that big in Minnesota. So being out here with it being the largest sport that is followed by the whole city, it's really unique. And being inside that stadium, there's about a chant for every 30 seconds of gameplay. So it's like keeping up with all the fans. It's nuts. But we were kind of sitting in a really cool section where they were allowing like the Minnesota fans to also be up in the seats designed for Portland Timbers people, and it was kind of fun meeting a bunch of people from Minnesota who either traveled to see the game or just happened to be here. I love that about living in a new city and connecting with people from where you are from and talking about how much it's changed and what it's like to be out here compared to what it's like back there and all that stuff. But honestly, watching the Timbers game, it was so much fun. I love soccer. I knew not very much about it before we went to this game, but they were explaining to me how it's always 45-minute halves, two halves, clock doesn't stop. The time that is accumulated through timeouts and injuries and stuff like that is added on at the end, so you play a little longer than the 90 minutes that are set aside for the particular game. But I love that because you kind of know when you're getting out of there. Maybe adjust a little time at the tail end. However, the crowd there, can we just speak on this from a gay perspective? Everybody there was fucking awesome. Nobody was like crazy, overly drunk rowdy, but nobody was like lame sitting in their seats either. Everybody was up, having fun, cordial and nice, and there was heckling between teams, but all in like good fodder. It was really, really fun. I'm so used to tailgating beer guzzling rednecks in the parking lots of like a Vikings or a Packers game that I wasn't expecting men, like hot daddies, by the way. Sorry if you're not into that, but who ain't into a hot daddy, right? But all of them dressed in like their Portland Timbers button-ups or jackets with like nice khakis or jeans. I'm like, is Portland Timbers code for church? Like, I had never seen sports fans so well dressed. I mean, I saw ties, for sobbing out loud. Like, why are you wearing a tie? I guess if you're sitting in a box, I don't know. I think I've been in a box once, and that was for like a Minnesota Timberwolves game. So like there were 3 people in the audience. But shout out to the Timberwolves. Hashtag back in 1995, you were like the joint when you had Kevin Garnett. That was fun. My sister was a Timberwolves cheerleader, so I got to go to all the games and sit on the floor for free, but I was like the biggest faggot there, so I was like, when's halftime? I want to come do cartwheels with the cheerleaders. Like, that's what I was looking forward to. I'm like, Kevin Garnett, who? And then she took me to a game where they played the Bulls and Jordan was there, and I just remember hating Michael Jordan because he was holding the ball up really high for one of the Timberwolves' really short players. He was like ridiculously short, like 5'9", so all the other players, like, the joke was on him, the fact that he was really tiny. But Jordan was like holding this ball above him, and I just remember the kid jumped up, swatted it out of Jordan's hand, and was like, what up? I'm sure he's probably broke by now, but still, that stuck with me. It resonated. Thank you. Shout out to the short guys in the NBA, shall we? Anywho, I just wanted to make this video to show that I can have a sports video. It's probably not discussing anything you wanted, like the 2 red flags that were handed out in the game yesterday. What the F was that? My friends were saying red flags are pretty rare in soccer games. It means I think you're pulled for the game and also the next game, so it really does affect a player's run in a season. But 2 of the Minnesota guys were pulled yesterday. And I thought it was kind of funny because in soccer, if you're pulled with a red card, you can't be replaced. So they were playing 8 against 10, which I was like, well, this is already ungodly fair since the Portland Timbers won the championship last year. And Minnesota's team is brand new like this year. Minnesota United. Dumb name. maybe work on it. But your uniforms were adorable. That baby blue and those big asses. I just wanted to like spank everyone as they walked in the fucking locker rooms. Anyway, had a ton of fun. Shout out to Meredith. Thank you so much for the tickets. It was a blast. We will go anytime you want. And honestly, if you've ever had a sports event in your city that you never would have thought twice about going to because it's like fucking rugby or lacrosse or badminton, do it, because you're going to end up having so much fun because it's so unexpected. The crowds are going to really impress you. They're so funny, and so many people came up to us yesterday and were like, Minnesota! Felt the love. Thank you so much for that. It was a blast, and thank you, Portland Timbers, for just being fucking awesome. That game yesterday was really fun, and even though you kicked the hell out of Minnesota's ass, I think it ended 4-0, but it was still a fabulous game to watch, and I love both of these cities. Minneapolis, still miss and love you to death. I hope you are well, except I know you're drowning in brand new condos, so I don't quite miss you. I have enough of that here in Portland. I've moved on. Anyway, take care of yourselves the rest of the day. If you have any funny stories regarding the Portland Timbers or any of the soccer teams in the country, I don't even know what leagues there are. I think the Portland Timbers is at the highest league you can be that only plays other states in the country or North America. It's something like that, but to go where you play other countries, you're on Team USA. I think that's how it works. Anyway, don't quote me on that. I don't fucking know shit about shit, but it was really fun, and I wanted to make a video about it just to capture that little fond event in my life. Oh, and can we just talk quick about how there was a fabulous girl about my age there wearing the best scarf in the whole world? I don't know if I showed you guys this before, but my scarf is actually two reindeer fornicating, because that's what animals do. But she was wearing it, and we kept bumping into each other everywhere throughout that stadium. It was crazy. I mean, the stadium was like half packed. It was insane. Lots of people there. And we kept like shouting, hey, shout out. It was fun. Super fun. I'm telling you guys, the people inside that stadium were so fun. We just had a blast. We met a guy in the line waiting for concessions, because you sit in those lines for about 32 minutes waiting for a beer. But we were waiting and struck up this conversation, and he saw that one of the lines was moving quicker, so he pushed us over that way, and he was like, go forth, enjoy your first Portland's game. So sweet. Some of the nicest people I've met in this city so far were at the Portland's Timbers game. It was insane, and honestly, if you ever visit Portland, I would suggest that being one of the things you have to do. I wouldn't have before yesterday, but after going to it, it's such fun, such camaraderie, and you get such a good impression of Portland from it that by all means, even if you're not a sports fan, go to it. It's so fun. You're gonna have a blast. But I just wanted to give that little shout out to the girl in my scarf. She was fabulous. So, again, if you have anything to contribute to the conversation, add it below. Otherwise, enjoy a gay giving commentary on sports. I'm sitting here being like, and their butts, and the ball was moving, and the screens. Like, don't expect to take me to a sporting event and pay much attention. I was watching the men. The men was fun. The men watching. The people, the men. Hashtag Daddy Hunt, am I right? Anyway, I'll let you go for now. Get back to your works or your coffee or your Wendy Williams or your cheese, whatever you're doing, right? Like your activity of the moment. Anyway, I'm looking forward to making the rest of the videos this week, and I hope you will be back to watch more of them. Take care of yourself for the rest of the day. Go Timbers or go Minnesota United. Pick a team. Pick any team. Anyway, peace out. Love y'all.